David thought this was somebody else, his judgment was this man should be put to death. So when that thing was turned around, David said, I deserve to die. But God said, you're not going to die. I'll forgive you for this. But you must understand, I'm pronouncing judgment upon your house. Evil, David, evil is coming on your house. Violence and war is coming upon your house, and we'll see that in our chapter today. Bathsheba has the baby. The Bible says that God curses the baby. It became very sick. David fasted and prayed over that baby, hoping that it might live. It come to the end, it did not live. And David washed himself, and he came back, and those of his household, his servants, they were confused. Well, while the child was sick, you fasted and you prayed and you were sad. What happened? And he said, how can I go against what God has said? I thought he might be merciful. I thought he might save the child, but he didn't. He said that child can never come to me, but one day I can go to that child. It said that David worships the Lord. And then Bathsheba has another child by the name of Solomon. And then we come to chapter number 13. And we were here 2 weeks ago, chapter 13. It came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar. And the Bible says Amnon, the son of David, loved her. Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin. And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. So Absalom and Tamar had the same mother. They were brother and sister. Amnon was a half-brother to them. But he was infatuated with Tamar. The Bible uses the word love. If you research that word out, that was not a deep love. That was more of a lust that he had for her. And he wanted her, but he knew that it wasn't right for him to have her. It was against the law of God for siblings to marry. But verse number 3, Amnon had a friend, actually a cousin, whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shimei, David's brother. And Jonadab was very subtle. He told Amnon, what you need to do is pretend to be sick. And tell David to have Tamar bring you something to eat. And that's exactly what happened. When Tamar came in, Amnon dismissed all the servants. And what he did, he ended up raping her, lying with her. He forced himself upon her. And it wasn't right. And Tamar tried to get Amnon to understand that this is not right, what you're doing. But he was so caught up with his lust. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, that lust and sense do not live in the same vocabulary. It didn't make sense to him. So he forced himself upon her. And then in verse number 20, Absalom, her brother, said unto her, hath Amnon thy brother been with thee? But hold now thy peace, my sister. He is thy brother. Regard not this thing. So she runs off. She strips herself from her clothing of virginity. She rips those off. She covers herself in sackcloth and ashes, and she runs into Absalom's house. And he can just tell by the way she looks and by what she's got on, something's happened. And he knew probably that Amnon was infatuated with her. And he says, has he been with you? And no doubt, I bet she just cried. She just wept and cried because of what had happened to her. And so he tells her, hold your peace, my sister. He is thy brother. So don't tell anybody about it. Let me take care of this thing. And